Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Thursday, January 12, 2012. There was a big earthquake in Fukushima province in Japan today. Fukushima, of course, is where the devastating March 11th quake occurred. It was a 5.8. It was 230 miles northeast of Tokyo. It shook buildings in Tokyo. There were no damage or injuries reported yet, so thank goodness. QBE in Australia is facing the ramifications of all the losses from the natural disasters. Its CEO, Frank O'Halloran, compared current market conditions with those immediately after the terror attacks of September 11, 2001. He said that its profit margin that's expected out shortly could fall by as much as 50% from what it had predicted. At one stage, QBE saw about $2 billion US wiped off its market value in stock trading today because of the stock warning. Its projected insurance profit margin had been about 11% based on an expected $15 billion of net earned premium. It's now been dropped to about 7%. This is because of the record level of cats in Australia and New Zealand. Speaking of which, Scott Vincent in Insurance Today has an interesting article today saying that many commentators and chief executives had been expecting a massive exodus of reinsurance capacity from the Australia and New Zealand area as a result of the natural cats. That's not the case. Here's the reason why. Guy Carpenter, the broker, is indicating that in some instances rates on average are up more than 50% and sometimes 100% for property cat reinsurance in the region. I wouldn't leave either if premiums were at that level. Thai flooding losses continue to mount. Now, XL, Arch Capital, and Validus are the latest reinsurers to release their preliminary net losses to the market. It's going to add another $300 million in existing industry losses to the bill that's already at least $11 billion. This puts it in one of the top 10 insured loss events of the past 30 years. And as we've been saying, the situation in Nigeria continues to worsen. And this is when the price of gasoline in the U.S. and Europe continues to rocket. A union representing 20,000 oil and gas workers in Nigeria said they're going to shut down oil production throughout the country on Sunday unless the government reverses its it reverses the end of the subsidy program for gasoline that had kept prices low. It's unlikely the government is going to react. There was a tornado that went through North Carolina. It jolted about 50 homes and other structures in Rutherford and Burke counties. Coca-Cola said today that it has found an unapproved fungicide in orange juice that it makes. The beverage giant, which makes Minute Maid, said that the FDA had alerted it that there might be problems, and they've checked it, and they've said that some of the actual Minute Maid has actually reached the stores. Here's an interesting story. If you've ever been on a 757 flying back and forth from Europe to the U.S., you might have already experienced this. The headwinds that blow from east to west, or actually from west to east, this winter have been unusually strong, averaging about 60 or 70 knots an hour. The 757 has a range of about 4,000 miles. When it's flying from Europe to the United States, there have been an unprecedented number of 4 stops so they can refuel. United Airlines, for example, reported 43 stops for extra fuel out of some 1,100 transatlantic flights using the 757s. Gander and Goose Bay, as well as Bangor, Maine, have seen traffic as planes begin to land there. Well, it's better that they land and get gas rather than keep going and run out of gas. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.